Hi guys, it's me, Mr. Bertoch, your incredibly handsome science teacher. In this video, we're going to be learning about eclipses, solar and lunar eclipses. Eclipses are one of the cooler things that you get to see in your life. If you ever have a chance, and you will have a chance, definitely in the case of lunar eclipses, if you ever have a chance to get out and see an eclipse, that is something you don't want to miss because it's something you'll never forget. I remember seeing my first lunar eclipse as a little boy in southern Utah, and I've seen several since then. In fact, I saw one here just a few months ago here in West Virginia, where I live. Um, yeah. I also remember seeing a solar eclipse in Utah. That was about 5 years ago or so. I got very lucky and happened to be in the path, happened to live at the time in the path of a solar eclipse. So they're really cool. But what are they? What are these strange things called eclipses? So there are two types of eclipses, and they're very easy, really, to understand. Okay, the first one we're going to talk about is a solar eclipse. So what in the heckins is a solar eclipse? If I am standing outside in the day and for unknown reasons, suddenly the very dependable sun that I can always count on shining goes dark, but not because of clouds. We're talking it actually goes dark, like there are no clouds in the sky. And all of a sudden the sun just like it turns off and it's dark outside in the middle of the day. What would cause that to happen? So, in order to understand how a solar eclipse works, we need to zoom out and look at the relationship between the sun and the moon and the earth. Remember that the earth orbits around the sun. It goes around and around and around the sun every year, one time per year. And the moon, it orbits around the earth, around and around the earth, one time per month. Okay, the word month and moon sound alike on purpose because that's what a month is. It's how long it takes the moon to go around the earth. Well, as the earth is orbiting around the sun, one time per month, the moon is going to go between the earth and the sun. It's in its orbit. It's going to pass right between so that it's going to be in front of the earth and the sun's going to be behind it. And sometimes it doesn't happen every month because of the way the earth and the moon are, the way their orbits are tilted. But every once in a while, it does happen where everything's lined up perfectly so that on the earth, the moon blocks our view of the sun. So you can imagine standing on the earth, looking toward the sun, but you can't see it because the moon is exactly, precisely, directly in front of the sun from our perspective. Now, the moon is way smaller than the sun. Okay, it's significantly smaller than the sun. And the sun is obviously is way bigger. Okay, but because the moon is so much closer to us, totally by coincidence, they look exactly the same size in the sky. It's really kind of cool. It's just an incredible coincidence. So the moon is the exact right distance from us so that it looks the same size in the sky as the sun, which causes it, when it passes in front of it, to perfectly cover it up. So perfectly that you can still see the outer atmosphere of the sun all the way around it. You just can't see the surface of the sun. You can't see any of the sun's light, okay, when you're standing in the right place, wherever that's occurring. So that's a solar eclipse. A solar eclipse, again, occurs when the moon passes between the Earth and the sun, and it blocks our view of the sun behind it. Okay, well, what is a lunar eclipse? Lunar eclipse occurs when the Earth, I'll say the right thing eventually, when the moon moves in its orbit around the Earth to the backside of the Earth. And so now it's behind the Earth, and the Earth is between the moon and the sun. Okay, and while a solar eclipse occurs in the day, a lunar eclipse always occurs at night. So the moon is now on the backside of the Earth, and it passes through the Earth's shadow. Because here's the dealio: the moon doesn't produce its own light. Okay, and the moon is reflecting the light of the sun. Well, if it's passing through the Earth's shadow, it can't glow because it's got no light. It's got no light source. Okay, so I mean, it does glow a little bit because some of the light is reflected around the Earth and splashes onto the sun, and that is red light for reasons that I'm not really going to go into right now because it's beyond the scope of this video. But it's the same thing that causes sunsets and sunrises. It's that same effect. Reds and orange lights are what hit the moon, and so it makes the moon look kind of reddish, which is kind of cool. Okay, so the moon gets really dark and it's tinted a little bit red while it is going through the Earth's shadow. That is a lunar eclipse. So again, a solar eclipse occurs when the moon is between the Earth and the sun, and it blocks our view of the sun. A lunar eclipse occurs when the moon is behind the Earth and it moves through the Earth's shadow. Hi guys, thanks for watching my video. These rambling science videos where I go unscripted and just kind of barf up all the science knowledge out of my head are part of a series that go along with an online class that I teach, which you can sign up for if you go to handsomescienceteacher.com. I also have a whole bunch of free resources for homeschoolers. I have hundreds of articles on every topic that covers your entire science curriculum from 5th through 8th grade. I have online games and quizzes, all curated and written by this handsome guy, a science teacher with, well, three degrees, but 2 of them are in science. So it's targeted right to and directly to your science students. So sign up, subscribe to the channel, and I release lots of videos also in addition to these ones, lots of little short videos that are like 2 minutes long that cover science topics. Those ones you don't get to see my handsome face, but they're still good videos and they're much more targeted, and those ones are scripted, so you don't have to hear me like you are right now going blah blah blah. The end. Subscribe. Thank you. Goodbye.